Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you are doing well. The sun is shining today. We're going to spend some time outside. And it's starting to get to spring, so I'm wanting to be outside and in the garden more and more. But today, we're going to take a break from our normal topics of birth and pregnancy. And we're just going to kind of do more of a light-hearted one. So, question for you guys. What is something that completely annoys you? Like, drives you insane, crazy, you cannot function if this happens? I'll give you guys a minute. Some people, it's silence. I have no problem with silence. Some people, it's an unorganized schedule, or too much of a schedule. Some people, it's a messy house. For me, I'll let you guess. I think I've touched on this before, but chaos and disorder drives me absolutely insane. I like to keep things organized, especially in my workspace. If I have to work someplace, it's got to be clean and organized. I'll flip this around here. I'll let you guys see for a minute. I have not cleaned my office lately, but this is my desk. My sewing table over there. A little cluttered over there, but this is the space I work in. Is mostly clean. And I have to keep it that way because otherwise I sit down to do my work and I'm like, I don't even know where to start. So I keep it clean. That's how I function. I used to try and do that with the whole house. It worked fairly well when I only had one kid, when I was working full-time, so we were never at home, because she was in daycare, and my husband and I both worked outside of home, so we were home. We didn't have a lot of toys, we didn't need them. Yeah, that changed with kid number 2. Kid number 2 came around, I started staying home, we were in the house all the time. Not in the house, but we were at home. Toys also, all of a sudden we had a lot more toys. I'm like, where did these all come from? So, one of the ways I've figured out how to manage it, I got a shark vacuum for Christmas 2 years ago now. 2 Christmases ago. Best thing ever. Hands down. It doesn't do the whole house every night, but it does do the hard floor upstairs, which forces me to pick up the laundry room, living room, dining room, and kitchen, and then the bathrooms, and then my bedroom. It often goes through. The toys, they get pushed into the living room, and we put up a shark fence, so that at least the first part of the house that I start in for the day is clean and ordered. I go to bed every night, the kitchen is ready for breakfast in the morning. The worst thing in the morning is get up when you're half awake, haven't had your coffee, you walk out, you're trying to fumble around to make breakfast because you got screaming kids running at you because they're hungry, you're hungry, and the pan you need is dirty. And the stove is a mess. You can't find counter space to even set the food on to cook it. So I always start, last thing I do before bed is make sure the kitchen space is clean, that I can get up and make breakfast, and then I can function. Another hack that I have learned is to keep clutter to a minimum. Usually a couple times a year, I go through, I'm just over all the clutter in the house, and I just start boxing stuff up and giving it away. I'll go through room by room sometimes it'll be the kids don't want to pick up toys, so pick up your toys, or we're going to start giving toys away. It's happened a couple times. They believe me now. Other things I've done or learned to do, we usually try and pick up the entire house, all the toys, at least once a week, so the shark can go through and vacuum while everybody's sleeping. Other things, household-wise, that's pretty much it. Keeping the toys to a minimum is honestly the biggest thing. If there's not space on the shelf for the toys, something's gotta go. That's just the way we've started, how I control it. And a lot of times if I start going through the toys, I'll find out, well, this one's missing half the pieces, this one's broke, why is this even here? And we'll just get rid of the broken toys or stuff they don't play with anymore. Only thing I don't do that with, baby stuff. That actually lives after they're done with it, downstairs in a closet. So it's out of sight, out of mind, and then when baby's there for it, because I only use it for such a short time, but I kind of need it too. And when I'm done with kids, I'm giving it away to one of my sisters or whoever needs it. It's just going by. A lot of that stuff I was given as hand-me-downs, so I'm just going to pass it on. Another thing, chaos is not just like clutter around the house, right? Chaos can also be a social thing. And for me, that's definitely one of the things. And we've all been there, right? You walk into a room, somebody's working on a project, or a group of people is working on a project, and there's 500 people doing 500 different things, and nobody really knows what they're doing, or why, or what direction you're even supposed to be moving. Absolutely drives me nuts. My sister thrives in it. That's fine. Just jumps in, whatever. Go on. Me? Yeah, no. I'm like, hold on, what are we doing? Who's really in charge? And if I can't find somebody, I want to take control. I want to take command and be in charge. Not always a good thing. I've calmed down and simmered down a lot on that. And a lot of times, like, I'll poke around and try and find something, but usually I'm getting out of there as fast as I can. If there's no order, I'm like, there's no point in me being here. Like, I've got better things to do. Life has a way of calming you down. Even the things that absolutely drive you crazy, like chaos and disorder. I still like to schedule my life. Not nearly as structured as it used to be. But I've also learned that, okay, that task that took 30 minutes is not going to take more like an hour, hour and a half with 2 kids. So I just schedule my day accordingly. We keep our mornings pretty open because that's just how it is. And after rest time, that's when we start to actually like accomplish. And if we're going to do something, that's when we do it. That is just the way our life is now structured. And as a mom, I'm sure many of you can appreciate that because there's some nights you just don't sleep, like last night. Does life still give you unexpected turns? Yes. Especially sometimes it's a right turn when I was expecting a left. But where it used to completely throw me off, melt me down, I've learned to kind of roll with it. Or gotten better at rolling with it. Knocks me down for a little bit sometimes, depending on how sharp the turn. But with time, you learn to roll with the changes better than just crashing. So, hope you guys all have a wonderful day. I would love to hear in the comments what is something that annoys you beyond belief to the point you can't function, and how you've overcome that or deal with that. So, we'll talk to you all later. Bye.